Canada.
All right, and we are back here with a female game for Australia versus Canada. And we were just saying we think this might be a world first where we have two female commentators commentating this game today. I'm Kazmira, I'm from Australia, and I'm joined by
Elizabeth from Canada.
Amazing. So be nice to us. Both are first-time commentators. We're going to try and bring you any little bits of insider knowledge that we can bring you about the teams as well. Two sort of junior nations in underwater rugby, as you may have heard me mention before, really looking to grow the sport in each country and I think doing a really great job. And both of us have been players before, so we're watching our teammates and very excited to see what they're going to do. So 16 seconds left before the start of the next game. Did you play much in this pool when you were playing?
Yeah, well, I played for around 3 years. I did a World Cup as well. I was there in 2019 in Austria.
Amazing. So we've got first-hand experience of what it feels like. The ball is in the middle. I've seen Canada's got a few fast players. I mean, Australia certainly does. I think we have a lot of swimmers, but I've certainly seen Canada bring their speed to the game, and something that we'll look to see today. And look, really almost getting to the ball first. Beautiful job by both teams. We can see there player number 42, Romy Keppel, trying to pass around the basket. Canada doing an excellent job of defending. And now we see a further wave of attack coming in from Australia, looking to pass down.
We can see the defense pretty fierce, not letting them in. Let's see how they can handle it.
I'm sure you probably know this, the Canadian players certainly looking very strong, very fit. Looks like they're doing lots of gym.
Yes. Unlike the last World Cup, I think they're working out a lot and practicing, training a lot on the defense as well.
Beautiful work by their forwards, really not letting Australia take this easily. Carmen Montea pulling the back position away, passing down to Yvette. Oh, and beautifully grabbed and held off by the number 18 from Canada. Oh, 16 rather.
Peters.
Cassia Peters. Australia coming in again, but really getting fiercely locked up by the players from Canada. Nice pass here to Sophie Lamande, who I know whose family will be watching at home, looking to make an attack on goal. Held off by the Canadian defenders. Carmen Monteo also pulled up by the Canadian defenders. call here from the referee for a white free throw, Canadian free throw. It looked like holding without the ball. Canada surely looking to capitalise on this opportunity.
Yes, definitely. Let's see if they can keep the ball.
Swarmed by Australian players, but Canada doing a great job to get the ball off. Attempt at stopping there from one of the Australian players. I've known these girls for many years, but it's still hard to see them, who it is under the water. I'm sure you find the same thing.
Yes.
Canada looking to punch through.
Yeah. Alexandra trying to hold on to this ball.
Number 24, Vanessa Lopez, looking to pull the ball away. Drop down to one of the Australian players who's coming now with player Sophie Lamande, and I believe that looks like Emma Green, who would be one of your counterparts in the last World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty good game to play against one of her own.
Absolutely. And how do you think, I mean, we sort of were chatting to Emma about how she felt playing against her, you know, her teammates from the previous World Cup. How do you think it would feel?
I think she'd feel pretty excited. She's been training really, really hard in the past couple of years and trying to improve even more. I think she want to show off to her old teammates how well she improved.
How far she's come.
Yes.
And we can see a really strong attack on goal by Qatar, but pulled away by the Canadian team.
Here, Adriana coming in.
Number 57, Natalie Solano, not going to let this Canadian player take the ball easily and drop down beautifully.
Yeah, we can see the Australian women are really, really fast and not letting the Canadian go away.
And we see Yvette again looking to take the goalie off their position, but really not able to do it. Canadian forwards really strong in this game here, not allowing Australia to pass in the corner comfortably, really putting the pressure on. And we can see Canada doing an excellent job.
Yvette coming in again.
And we have some love for Yvette on the chat. Yvette is doing an amazing job. You do not want to play against this girl, incredibly tough and strong. And it looked like a little bit of holding from the Canadian players around Yvette. And we can see a Canadian player, two players against two Australian players on the surface. And I believe that is Carmen Montoya trying to rip the ball out of the scrum.
From Paola.
An Australian player waiting to pass down. We have number 44 from Australia, Jodie Wilson. Beautiful pass down to her teammates. We're going to look to capitalise on this opportunity. Emma Green again,
there.
she's looking for that goal. As you say, she wants to show her old teammates what she's been doing. And then another strong attack by Sophie Lamande. But Canada really doing an excellent job to hold them off. We have a wave of two Australian players now. Ball dropping down into the hands of the Canadian players, but pushed off. Oh, we have a potential one-on-one position. Unfortunately, the opportunity not capitalised on by Australia. And I'm sure we can all hear their coach in the background there telling them to go. We've got a 1-on-1 position here by Natalie Solano. Oh, goal!
She scores.
Oh, first goal in this World Championship for Natalie Solano. A smack in the face and still managed to get that goal. Well done, Natalie.
Well done.
For those of you watching along at home, her husband, Oscar Garcia, was the man who had his head in the goal to score a penalty against another team. So
New technique?
new technique, absolutely. But these two players will do anything for a goal. Absolutely fearless. Canada doing an amazing job. You must be very proud.
Yes, definitely. They've been working really hard on their defense. It really shows off.
Absolutely.
They need to keep going like this. Tight defense.
I think so. I think if they keep this tight defense, you know, Australia have certainly been working really hard on their fitness, but in a big pool like this, as you know, and you would have known playing in Australia as well, it gets tiring.
Yes, exactly. But I think that the teams in Canada don't play in pools as big as this one usually. So it comes to their disadvantage, and I think that's a great opportunity for Australia to make them work for it.
Yeah. Well, at the moment, we can certainly see Canada making Australia work for it. Australia, you know, potentially coming in as the more favourable team in this this game, but certainly by no means dominating. 8 minutes left in the first half, and I imagine that Canada are really going to want to get a quick goal here to equalise the scores. Really fast swimming by the Canadian players.
Maria Jose.
We've seen this a little bit in the American teams as well. The flutter kicking, is it a hockey thing or?
I reckon it's probably a swimming technique from past swimmers.
Yeah. And look, we've got a really, really strong attack on goal. Canadian player looking for some support.
Not finding any. Number 8 coming, grabbing the ball.
Number 8, Qatar, who is also an underwater hockey player and will be joining the World Championship after this World Championship.
Gold Coast going back home.
Yeah, going back to the Gold Coast to compete in another championship. Now we can see the Australian girls not wanting to defend long in this game. They spent most of their game yesterday defending against Germany. And now we can see them pushing forward, looking to make another attack on goal, but being swept away by a Canadian player. Emma Green back with the ball, trying to bulldoze her way towards the goal. Sophie Lamande, who's been very strong in this tournament. And now Romy Keppel looking to capitalise. We have the basket stolen. Unfortunately, not able to put the ball in the basket, but very, very close there. Snatched away by, and we have player here, Jodie Wilson, and Emma Green looking to get her first goal against Canada. Unfortunately, missing out on the opportunity, and an excellent job by Canada.
Great job. Alexandra Picard doesn't want to let that goal go.
Whew, this is a stressful game for us here.
Another attack.
Pulling the back position away, trying to position herself up near the goal. Oh, and goal from Carmen Montoya. Goal. And this is also her first goal in the World Cup. Beautiful goal,
oh,
it is, yeah. Oh, just behind the head of the goalie after pulling her out. Excellent work. We have a goal, a score of 2-0 Australia in black, Canada in white, with 5 minutes left in this first half. A lot of love from both teams on the chat here. Another fast swim off from Canada. Australia looking to put a lot of pressure in the middle of the pool, not wanting Canada to pass through. And I mean, this certainly, you know, borderline crosses the line of choking, but not seen by the referee. Ball dropping down close to the borderline.
We can see Canada needs to be careful doing passes right in front of Australia. They're really fast trying to get those chances to get the ball.
And here we go, Sonia looking to move forward. Did you ever get to play with Sonia in Australia?
No, I haven't.
Sonia, one of the veterans originally from Finland, who's been playing for, I would say, close to 15 years. Very comfortable there with the ball. Happy to have a couple of players on her. Doesn't look too stressed about the whole thing. And we have player Charlotta from Denmark originally. With less than 5 minutes left of this first half, it certainly has been an exciting one. Seeing more attacks on the goal. Sophie Lamande, player number 88.
Australia trying to get a chance to organize, to score.
Oh, and a dive down for the ball, and Australia just managing to get there before. Player number 7, Charlotta. And now we can see players starting to make some waves. But the Canadian forwards doing a really amazing job to prevent them from this happening easily. Sophie Lamande! Oh, and goal for Sophie!
Is it her first one?
It is also Sophie's first goal.
All right. Good job to Sophie.
Sophie, one of the players from the original squad that went to Cali for Australia's first World Cup. So very experienced player. And wearing lucky number 88. What position do you play?
Goalie.
Goalie. And what number?
15.
So if we see number 15 goalie in the next World Cup for Canada, we know who to look
Watch
out
out.
for. Absolutely. We won't want to come towards you.
And Joanna not letting go of the ball. And we have another player going down. And Australia catches the ball, going straight to the basket. Are we going to see a one-on-one?
Oh, strong pass there. Natalie Solano looking for a second. Not able to get it there, but beautiful, strong pass. And we see more Australian players around the goal. Canada trying to lock it up, and yes, goal! Goal! And I believe that was from player number 44, Jodie Wilson, also her first goal for the tournament. Normally hails from Brisbane, so used to the warm weather here.
Lots of firsts for Australia, right?
Absolutely. They'll all be very happy with this. Both teams putting in a mammoth effort to work towards this World Cup.
Canada definitely getting exhausted here a little bit. We can see their defense is not as tight as the beginning. They need to keep it up and keep a tight defense.
Doing a great job to get the ball to the Australian half. But Australia not going to want to give that up easily. And we see another push now, 2 players, counter-attack. Taking it over to the corner, using some time to rest her team. It's always tricky on the counter-attacks when you have your fastest player making the attack to actually have the speed to go with them.
The energy, definitely.
Absolutely. All right, another ball by Sophie and a goal potentially here for Romy, but unfortunately squandered away by the Canadian defense team. Canada managing to get possession of the ball. Big scrum on the surface here. Both teams wanting to get it. A minute and a half left on the clock for the first half. Australia leading 4-0, but Canada really doing an excellent job to not give it to them easily. And we can see, not even sure what happened to the ball there.
All right, another attack. Oh, we have a basket. Not completely.
Number 7, Charlotta Jordan, joined by teammate number 8, both hailing from Adelaide, looking to score another goal, but pulled away by the Canadian player. Ball drops down, looking to score here, number 29. Oh, and just pulled away. Emma Green remains on the basket. Qatar number 8 also trying to steal the goal, but unfortunately Australia not able to capitalise on what looked like a great opportunity. We have a one-on-one position for Sophie, Sarah rather. And the ball up at the surface with 6 seconds left of this first half. Neither team wanting to stop yet, but called by the referee. 5 minutes of half-time coming up now. Thoughts, comments?
Great job from both teams, definitely. Australia going really, really strong, wanting to get all the opportunities, and Canada not letting them go so easy, right?
Absolutely. I think we can see there the Canadian defence, their backs and goalies are absolutely on point, you know, 99% of the time. Their forwards doing an excellent job to stop the Australians coming in with those waves of attacks.
We saw a really great save from Adriana Barros. Really great save. The basket was empty and she just cropped that ball before anyone could put it in the basket. Amazing save.
So will you be coming back for the next World Cup?
You'll see me in the water.
Oh, amazing. Guns drawn, everyone. Make sure you look out for number 15 from Canada.
Lots of Aussies in the comment section getting up really, really early, right?
Very, very early. So the time in Melbourne at the moment is 4:32 in the morning. So a lot of support early in the morning. Actually, our men are playing just after this game as well. So no naps in between these games for anyone who's watching from Melbourne or from anywhere in the East Coast. We also have greetings from Germany. Thank you, Danny, from Germany, for watching in on the Australian-Canadian game. It's probably a more appropriate time in Germany, though,
yeah,
isn't it?
probably. Around nighttime, I'd say.
Yeah. A nice little evening show. 2:30 in the afternoon here in Montreal. Beautiful sunny day today, actually.
Pretty hot one.
A hot one. We had a bit of reprieve from the heat the last couple of days with a little bit of rain, a bit of cooler weather, but looks like the heat is back to stay. Hello, Yvette's family from Melbourne. Tatiana, Tatiana would never miss a game. Tatiana is one of our players from Canberra.
Too early, definitely too early.
Well, Tatiana, next time when you're playing with the team, you won't have to get up so early. I hope everyone on the live stream got to hear that cheer from the Australians.
They never miss out.
It's a pretty easy cheer, isn't it? Owen, you will be dismissed from the chat if you continue with that. No, I think Canada do a really excellent job, and I think the amount of pressure that they're putting on the Aussie girls, who had a really, really tough game against Germany yesterday, they'll certainly be feeling it today. Oh, we have someone from Brazil tuning in. Amazing.
We have Adriana's sister here with us.
Amazing. We really have brought the, I don't know, milkshake to the yard, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I was trying to say there. All right, so we have a minute left of halftime. 4-0, Australia leading, you know, by a pretty narrow margin against Canada, who are doing a really excellent job of putting the pressure on them. I have a feeling now the Australians are going to want to try a couple of new things. You know, they've got a pretty good score here in the game. They've got what is going to be an absolute powerhouse game, I believe, against Sweden tomorrow. So I think there's going to be some preparation for that.
Yes,
that
definitely.
might happen.
They might want to prepare and defend a little bit, but
absolutely. I mean, that's the trick, isn't it?
Sweden.
Can you defend
Yes.
and then take the ball, be fresh enough on the attack? Because we know the Australians have got speed. I think counter-attack is going to, you know, be potentially our greatest asset. But gee, it's hard in a pool like this, isn't it?
Ah.
I feel like as soon as I get to the bottom, I need to come straight back up.
Yes,
So
exactly. And the game starting again. And we have Emma
Emma
getting
Green
the ball.
getting the ball for Australia, locking it up in the middle there. Canada not wanting to let go, and wow, Emma certainly showing her strength here. And we know Emma is absolutely hungry for a goal here today against her teammates, original teammates from Canada.
Has she scored in this World Cup yet?
She has, yes.
Well,
I think that's, you know, one of the things we were saying about the Australian girls is they pretty much all had an opportunity on goal here, which has been a really beautiful thing to see. We know from seeing some of the other teams, there's been, you know, 2 or 3 players who are consistently scoring goals from them, but the Australian team have done a good job at sharing the love.
yes, and we can see they all train really, really hard for this World Cup. Just like you said, not only 1 or 2 players scoring all the goals.
Now passing in front of the back is always going to be a little bit of a risky pass, and we certainly see Germany and Colombia do it somewhat effortlessly, but Canada here able to sweep up that pass and move the ball in the direction Australia will not like to see it.
And
oh, here we go, a 3-on-2 attack.
Basket.
Oh, and Sarah McCarthy.
Well done.
Was that Sarah McCarthy? Now I'm second guessing myself. We will check the replay. It looks like number 10, Sarah McCarthy. And we have a call from the referee. Discussion with the deck ref and the water ref. Unsure exactly what's being said. It looks like maybe a comment to one of the teams. But we do see a goal stand there for Sarah McCarthy, number 10, her first goal in this World Cup as well. And Canada restarting with the ball.
And Australia just coming in waves, 3 at a time on Maria Jose. All right.
Very strong holding of the ball by the Canadian player. I think Canada will be looking now to sort of wind down the clock, lock up the ball, not let Australia get any more goals. And the ball dropping down. Yvette, who's got a lot of love on the chat, who's been an absolute powerhouse at her first World Cup, now going for the goal, passing beautifully down. Are they able to pop the ball in? Not this time, but ripped out beautifully by Charlotta Jordans. Sophie Lamande doing an excellent job of keeping that ball in possession against very strong Canadian players. And Canada really trying to push the ball away from their basket.
They're getting really exhausting trying to keep the ball out of the water.
And now we have player number 77, Andrea Soto from Australia, looking to bring the ball to the basket and doing a really excellent job fighting off multiple players and trying to make the pass here.
And
we've got
Sonia
Sonia looking to score a goal and just missing out there, but making a beautiful pass down to Kata. Natalie Solano surely looking for her second goal and doing her best to pull the back away from the position. And Emma Green, here she goes. She's not going to take no for an answer this game. And here we come in again with another wave of attack from the Australian team. And Canada recovering the ball from around the goal.
Got a really strong player here. Paula Rodriguez always getting there and getting this ball.
Absolutely, we've seen a lot of her in the game. And the ball dropping down. Number 57, Natalie Solano. Sarah over to the goal, looking for support. Passing down to Emma, who's happy to take a Canadian player up to the surface with her. Now we're seeing a little less support for the Australian girls under the water. I mean, we know it's a very tiring game.
We have a lot of new players here in Canada that are playing in this World Cup. We have some players that have been playing for less than a year.
Wow.
And are playing right now in the water. So playing against a team as strong as Australia is a pretty big achievement for them, and holding off.
Absolutely,
many
holding
goals.
the score
Yeah.
to be 5-0 for players, you know, who, as you say, are so junior, is really, really excellent work by them, and I think that they should be very proud of what they've done so far. Player number 38 from Australia,
And we can
tried
see
to smash the ball in.
Isabel Bernard doesn't want to let that go. Let's see.
Risky pass there. With Canadian players waiting all around. Hannah Barringer, the captain, looking now to make an impact on this game as well.
And again,
Yvette with a beautiful pass down. Charlotta Jordan's now pushing the goalie off, but gets wrapped up by Canadian players. And a little comment to the referee there. Any calling for choking around the neck?
Carmen Montejo going again.
And now another wave from Charlotta. Eight minutes left in this second half. Ball drops down. Sophie trying to recover it for her team. They do not want to swim back to the other side of the pool.
We see Diana trying to hold off.
Ball received by Hannah, looking to attack the goalie from above. Really good push on the head and goal!
Goal for Hannah.
Goal! I don't know if you could hear there in the background, her coach screaming, "Go Hannah! Go Hannah!" And by God, thank God she went, because she got that beautiful goal. Excellent work by Hannah. And beautiful support there by Natalie Solano, waiting to take the pass. White timeout. Great opportunity for both teams to take a break.
We've got 7 minutes and a half left.
Jo Jordan's absolutely so close for Charlotta a couple of times there, and we'll have to have a chat to her after the game, but I certainly think there potentially was a little bit of holding around the neck, and she did point that out to the referee. I'm sure they will be more vigilant on that next time. Less than 30 seconds left of this timeout. Yeah, absolutely. Canada not giving up on this game at all. Really sticking in it and sticking it to Australia. Seven and a half minutes left, about halfway through the second half. Canada starting with the ball.
Can they keep the pressure?
I reckon they can.
Yes.
I think they've had a good chat to their coach now. They've been really quick off the starting line. I think they're going to look to make some really quick passes, but I think you're right. I think if they want to try and get past this Australian line, they're going to need to keep those passes a little bit tighter, not to let Australia capitalise on any little mistakes.
Might try to give it a Hail Mary and try to attack.
They might do a USA to Germany, huh? Just
Yeah.
flick that one goal in. Oh, great work by the Canadian player.
One of our newest players.
Ooh, and she's certainly holding her own. She should be very proud of that effort against multiple Australian players. And now we are seeing a very fast wave of attack by Australia. We have a 1 versus 2. More Australian players coming down. And looking to pass down next to the goalie, but just making it
Always a
for
tough one.
Andrea. Andrea maybe not seeing that pass down to Kata to take an opportunity of a bit of a messy swap by the Canadian team. And again, we're seeing these shoulders over the neck of the Australian players, and I'm sort of, yeah. Now we see Sonia really strong coming in, attacking the goalie from above, looking for the pass down. The pass getting swept up by the Canadian team and pulled away, who were going to look to make a quick, fast break, but punched out by Charlotta Jordan's number 7. Some chances here for the Australian players, but really seems to be missing a little bit of support underwater to capitalise on an empty basket. With 5 minutes left of this second half.
And here we go. Canada's got the ball. Trying to move on the Australian side.
Big scrum on the surface, passed down by Canada. And now Yvette, strong forward. Hannah Barringer, the team's captain, recovering the ball, looking to make the quick swim across to the other side. Two of her teammates underneath, looking for the dive. Can they capitalise on this opportunity of a 2-on-2 possession of the goal? Canada has just had two players come in fresh off the bench. Australia now looking to make some more passes, and Emma Green certainly looking to get that goal. Pulled away by player number 30 from Canada.
Catherine Gonzalez.
Well done, Catherine.
Well
you
done.
You held off Emma from getting her first goal in this game.
The forwards of Canada not letting anyone come near the basket, and here they go.
Absolutely. I must admit, though, it looks like player number 30 has been given a bit of a target of Emma Green to keep an eye out for. Certainly seems to be all over her at every opportunity.
Yes.
And we know that Emma is one of the strongest players on the Australian team, so fair enough to have a target on her back, I would say. And here we see Australian Wave coming in again, led by Natalie Solano, looking for some support underwater. And unfortunately being locked up on the surface, but fast play down. Andrea looking to come in. Goalie not perfectly positioned on the water, on the goal rather.
And here we have, all right, the basket is back on.
Kata making a nice pass to
Yvette
Yvette,
coming.
pushing up the goalie, and goal!
Score.
Goal for Yvette.
Well done.
You can see that beautiful move, positioning her foot on the ground, grabbing the goalie around, pushing up, and just bang. I think in the previous commentary that was hailed as Romy's signature move, but we can see Yvette doing it as well.
Oh, really? I reckon it's Carmen's signature move.
Do you?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
I always see her do this.
Maybe we're going to call it the Australian signature
The
move.
Australian signature move.
All right, we have a timeout called, must be by the Australian team here. Maybe a chance to rest in this last 2.5 minutes, maybe a chance to perfect something for their upcoming game.
And Canada will definitely take this opportunity to just relax, take a bit of air, and trying to defend as hard as they can for these last 2.5 minutes. Not wanting to get one more goal in.
Absolutely.
And probably trying to get a goal if they're on into Australia's basket.
I think a fast break for Canada may be the way to do it, but you know, if they're not wanting to get any more goals, then it's really going to be about locking up the ball, isn't it? How many times do you think we're going to hear that Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi throughout this game?
We're not done. I'm sure we're not done.
Because the men's game is next, so. They're going to ban us from commentating together because there's too much giggling probably. But we are having a lot of fun here today, enjoying this amazing game by two very strong up-and-coming women's teams. The improvement that we have seen
in both teams is really, really impressive.
Absolutely.
Yes. The Canadian team way stronger than the previous World Cup. We can see they train harder, they prepared for longer, lots of improvement on their part, and the Australian team as well.
Yeah, we can see, you know, the athletes, you know, men and women, but, you know, from my personal experience, certainly what I've seen from watching these women's games is everyone's taking this very seriously. you know, looking to really promote the sport around the world. Beautiful pass down, drop down to a Canadian player who's going to have to try and fight her way through a couple of Australians to move that ball forward.
And here we have Paula Rodriguez again.
And Sarah McCarthy getting in there as well, trying to stop that ball from coming back. Canada really need to use this opportunity to try and score on the basket.
Definitely. We only have one Canadian player down. We need to see some more.
Australia leaving a pretty sort of flimsy-ish looking defense there.
Aren't they too worried, huh?
Yeah, I think almost trying to draw Canada in. And here we go. We see a strong counter-attack. This is what we know Australian women can do best. Their speed and agility. And we can see Andrea was sitting on the goal, has now made it across to the other side of the goal.
Oh! And she scores.
Actually, I think that might have been Natalie Solano again for her second goal. We'll have to check on the replay. Bit hard to see the numbers underwater. 30 seconds. Natalie Solano for her second goal. Oh, well done, Nata.
And we could see a pretty flimsy defense from Canada. Only one goalie there, no defense, making it rather easy for Australia. Probably just trying to attack and trying to get their goal in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's the point of these tournaments, right?
Yes.
Is to, you know, especially for these developing nations, practice. Practice and practice against teams that are equally matched, better than you, not as good as you, and yeah.
Learning, definitely
Learning
a lot, learning a lot.
And we see different powerhouse clubs changing the game all the time, so the learning never stops. 1 second left, and that will be time.
Great job from both teams. Amazing work from the Canadian team, the Australian team.
Amazing work. Both teams putting on an excellent show, and it was a pleasure commentating with you.
Same here.
If we see more, thank you guys in the chat. If we see more women's games, I think we should try and jump on and
yes, definitely.
And give our little 2 cents worth on what we think's going on. We might see if we can go and interview one of the players from this game, and then we will be back again for a men's game coming up. Canada versus Australia, sorry, Norway versus Australia men's. Surely will be an interesting game.
A tough one.
Very tough one. All right, thank you everyone, and we'll see you for the next game.
Pues sí, bueno, entonces a ver, vete para la cámara, entonces me regalas otra vez tu nombre, porfa, y tu posición en...
Mi nombre es Paula Rodríguez, mi posición en el equipo es de forward y de capitana y de coach.
Bueno, haces de todo, haces de todo. Y como que juegas ni que has estado en selección sub-21. ¿Qué historia de rugby? Y siempre he dicho que eres muy buena. Entonces, ¿cómo te cuentas de ti, de cómo te ha ido en rugby aquí en la vida?
Ok, yo empecé como nadadora y ya cuando finalicé mi carrera en la natación, lo que hice fue que mis primos y parte de mi familia ya jugaban este deporte. Entonces simplemente ellos fueron los que me convencieron a cambiarme de deporte, pero permanecer en el agua siempre. Entonces más que todo parte de mi vida ha estado dentro del agua y de parte de mi familia también. Sí. Entonces yo empecé en Colombia en el Club Castores de Bogotá. Pues inicialmente también fueron historia y luego después el año también nuevamente entonces, y como estar jugando en contra de ellas también ha sido un honor, sobre todo en este momento jugar contra Canadá, perdón, y siendo como de la hacer el equipo, hacer crecer el deporte. Para mí, recibir desde acá es un honor y superas meterse en esto de una vez sin tener algo.
Viste igual como que relativamente muy en Canadá, ¿no? Siendo como que como partidos acá.
Increíblemente no esperaba jugar contra el primer partido que fuera como contra uno de los más fuertes que es Alemania. Al principio, claro, entendía los nervios de las muchachas, sobre todo que yo al menos con la experiencia que tengo y ver el progreso que tienen países europeos como Alemania, como Noruega, también en este deporte ha sido como un poco de nervios, pero sin embargo toca saber controlarlos también como para darle esa proyección de seguridad al equipo que es tan nuevo y entenderlas que esos nervios simplemente es de primeras.
Pero luego se van.
Sí, luego se van, todo se va en el agua.
Eso, se van y se ponen todas ya en su zona, ya a jugar bien y todo.
Sí, esto ya es de aprendizaje, no
Sí.
va a ser el primer torneo para ellas ni el último. Esto es simplemente como una pequeña prueba de lo que viene más adelante.
Ay, vale. Pues muchas gracias por tu tiempo, la verdad, y por venir. Tienes por todo.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias.